Hey guys, it's Stephanie with the Rancher's Homestead. Welcome back to the channel. So, we're going to have to do this with my canner going in the background. I have lots of canning projects going on this week, and one of the things that I canned yesterday was black beans. And as always, when you go to can something, sometimes things just don't work out. Either your jars clank or anything. But I had a can of black beans that did not seal. So I'm pushing on the top of it and it is going in and out. And when that happens, it doesn't mean that the food is bad. It just means that your food is not shelf stable. So I still have my ring on. If you have followed me for a while, you know that I store all of my jars without my ring on, and here is why. Because all your ring does is hold its place while it's in the canner, and then when it's cooling until it's completely sealed. Once it's sealed, that ring has no more purpose, and your lid comes right off. This is the first time I've taken the ring off, and I knew just by feeling it that it didn't seal. Now, like I said, your food is not bad if it doesn't seal properly. It just means that you can't put it on your shelf. I could put this in the refrigerator and just use it up sometime in the next week or two. But what I'm choosing to do, and what I'm going to share with you today, is make a gluten-free, or it's naturally gluten-free, black bean brownie. So these are super healthy, but yet delicious for you. So all you need is a can of black beans and then some other ingredients. I can all of my own beans. So 1 pint-sized jar of this will work perfectly. I will drop a link in the description on how to can black beans, or any beans for that matter. I do have a video out on canning specifically black beans, but you can use any beans and use the same method of canning for that. And I can all of mine, and I share in that video why I do that. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to take this non-sealed jar that didn't seal, and we're going to make something delicious out of them. So the equipment that you need is just a food processor. If you don't have one, you can use a blender, but I think that the food processor probably works best. And then a can of black beans and some other ingredients that I'll share with you along the way. Okay, so super easy. I have greased an 8x8 dish right over here. I'm running out of counter space, so I'm just kind of sticking stuff wherever it goes. And I'm going to set that aside. Now I'm going to take my can of black beans, and I'm going to dump it into my food processor. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and add in all my other ingredients. So right here I have pure maple syrup, and I have a ½ cup. You can do a 1/3 cup or a 1/4 cup of maple syrup and then add a little bit of sugar, but in the nature of keeping these without any cane sugar, I'm just going to add a ½ cup of maple syrup. You can also use honey. It just may taste a little bit honey flavored, but that doesn't bother me. And then I have a 1/4 cup of coconut oil. My coconut oil is already melted because my house is very hot, but if it wasn't, I would just throw it in even if it was solid. I have a ½ cup of quick gluten-free oats. Now this is the only thing that you would have to substitute if you were gluten-free, and that is just make sure that your oats are gluten-free. If you don't need to be gluten-free, just use regular quick oats. The next time I make these, I've always made them with quick oats, but I'm going to try doing it with just regular rolled oats because that's what I buy in bulk. I don't typically buy this. And so then I would save not having to buy anything extra for specifically these. But for now, I have a ½ cup of quick gluten-free oats. I'm going to put in a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. ½ teaspoon of baking powder, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla, okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and put my lid on if I can find it. Here it is. Like I said, my kitchen's small and running out of counter space, especially when we have canning going on. Oh, I don't think you can see in the video, but I have jars just lined over here on this shelf or on that counter, and so I run out of space really quickly. Okay, now I'm going to put my lid on, and I'm going to blend this up until it's very evenly coated. All mixed in. You can go ahead and take your, and I'm going to take my blade out here, which makes it easier. And then I have a cup of mini chocolate chips here. You can use regular size chocolate chips. I just had mini, so that's what I'm using. And I'm going to put about 2/3, way too much of it, in here. And I'm going to save the rest for sprinkling on top. Okay, I'm going to grab a spoon and just stir the chocolate chips in. Now, I know these are super healthy. Probably the only thing that's not healthy is the chocolate chips. But I will warn you, don't omit the chocolate chips. You'll get a really, really bitter brownie. The chocolate chips do make it, so, you know, a little bit is not going to hurt. I always tell my girls, in moderation, anything's okay. Well, almost anything. Okay, then you're going to dump it into your pan. Here. And then the rest of the, I got a little bit of right here. And then the rest of these chocolate chips, I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle right on top. You don't have to do this part. If you didn't want to add more chocolate chips, you could just do the ones that are inside. But this extra on top makes it really nice and gooey. Now I'm going to bake these in a 350 degree oven for about 12 to 15 minutes. I would just watch them and see until they set up. And then you're going to pull them out, let them cool completely, and then you will have a delicious, you can top it with some ice cream or just eat them plain, healthy brownie. So we're going to get these in the oven here at 350 degrees. These are looking really delicious. I'll go ahead and show them to you. They look just like a brownie. They will set up as they cool longer. If you stick a knife in them, they might be a little bit gooey, but they will set up from there. And you want to let these completely cool, and then you can slice them and eat them as a brownie. They are so, so good, and they're actually a healthy treat for you. So go ahead, get your black beans canned if you're not already doing that. Look at the video here in the description that will show you how to do that. Or you can just buy a can of black beans from the store. That's perfectly fine too. And make yourself some black bean brownies. You won't regret it. Take care. We'll see you next time.